Let me check the channel. I guess there's a delay or
Yeah.
something.
I don't know. I got y'all pulled up on my phone, and I got the channel pulled up on the laptop. So,
Oh, okay. Well,
so
I
we'll
guess
see. We'll see how it makes me look.
What's going on,
well,
everyone?
yeah. Hello, hello. This is the inaugural relaunch of the YouTube for Cryptozoa, and it's really just me testing it out, just to see if I'm comfortable with doing it and seeing if I have anything to say on a regular basis. But I decided to ask two of my friends, Lance and Zach Minter, onto the stage, and we're going to discuss all sorts of stuff. Um, I think we'll start off simply with the market state, and then we'll dive deeper into DeFi, and then get into some more weird topics like the singularity. Yeah,
Ooh,
the
ooh,
singularity.
yeah.
Let me.
Oh, Aaron is on.
All right.
Ooh, shout out to Aaron.
Let me see if I can figure out how to share my screen, and then I will add the current market for Bitcoin. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you can see, like the low was at 82,000. It probably wicked down to 80,000, honestly. But now we're climbing back up. What do you guys think? You think it's going to keep going up? Is this a bull trap?
It's a dead cat bounce, right? Is that what they call it? I'm not a TA expert. Someone in the chat, Aaron can
Yeah.
tell us, I'm sure. No, I'm just playing. No, we got to get Goldwyn or someone. Goldwyn's a good TA guy, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
but uh, but yeah, it's definitely been a quick recovery. But I was kind of pretty surprised how quick it
Oh wait.
tanked.
Well, I was kind of hoping it might be next year to go down to 60. That way I can buy a whole bunch and then come right back up to like 500 afterwards. So that would be nice.
So are you kind of more bearish than Lance? Do you feel like this might be
Well,
the top 120 and maybe this is the end of or that's the peak of this past Bitcoin cycle?
I'm not real sure. You know, it'll go. It's gone down, but 20 to 30% drops are pretty normal for cycles from what I've read and what I've seen. So I have a feeling it'll go up a lot more before it goes back down again. But who
Yeah,
knows? It's crypto. Anything can happen.
that's right. Yeah, I didn't want to catch the knife when it was, diving so quickly from what I guess 110 down to
Yeah.
82 or 80 or so. But man, if you got like a entry there, like if you're any sort of leverage trader, that was a great entry, I bet, because it has recovered quite quickly in just a few days.
Yeah.
What about you, Patrick? What do you think? Is 120 the top? Is this a short-term recovery, or is just another dip in the cycle?
Well, it's funny. You met him, Arthur Hayes.
Yes.
Yeah, one of his articles called "Snow Forecast." He nailed this. Let me see if I can bring this on stage. About saying that it's the bottom. Let me see here. Stop screen. Let me add. I am not a professional. Let's see here.
Jamie,
Oh
pull
yeah.
that
By the
up.
way, this is not financial advice. We're just talking.
Oh yeah, we're just
We're
we're
just chit
normal.
chatting.
We don't know what we're talking about really. Yeah, so Arthur Hayes, he called it back in I think it was the 17th. Bitcoin could absolutely drop to 80,000 to 85,000 during this period of weakness, and he thinks it could zoom towards 200 or 250,000 at year end.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
Wow.
and then the bottom was on the 21st. So
Yeah, that's an
I,
interesting take.
yeah, my view, I'm actually I thought it was the bottom actually for me. I think it's all linked to liquidity, and liquidity, the QT, or the quantitative tightening, it ends on December 1st. And after that, it's quantitative easing all over again. And when I look, I mean, it's all about like timelines. And for me, with the midterms coming up, and the Fed chair leaving, and the big financials, they want to buy in at a cheaper price. Everyone's talking about the 4-year cycle. It's going to go down to 45,000 or 60,000 or whatever. But in the back of my head, I was just thinking, well, they're going to front run this, or they'll end it early, before everyone else gets a chance, or everyone is going to keep holding, waiting for that lower low. But I guess we'll find out if I'm right or wrong, or if Arthur
Yeah,
Hayes is right or wrong.
for sure. Yeah, I totally see that argument. I don't know. I'm more of a cycle theory guy still until it's proven otherwise. It does
Sure.
seem that we're on borrowed time. Just if I'm just thinking towards the cycle theory, um, it is interesting to see, Trump being a very pro Bitcoin president. They one of the campaign promises was to release Ross, which they did free Ross, along with, it
Right.
was in talks of the Bitcoin reserve, which has still not come to fruition, and it seems to be, I don't know, not making headway anytime soon. I did see today, I don't know if you guys had saw this news, but Texas, the state
Oh
legislators,
yeah, they bought a whole bunch of it.
yeah, they bought $10 million worth of Bitcoin. So I guess what if Bitcoin's 100K roughly? I don't know what their buying price was. So that'd be what times 10? That's 100 Bitcoin they bought. And critics on both sides are saying, they didn't buy enough, people who wanted them to do it. But then other, supporters are saying, this is just the start, and at least they've done it now, that sets the precedent. So I think that's really interesting. If they're the first state to, like you said, Texas is the first one to adopt a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Ideally, like you mentioned, let's say it does run to 200K, or just, this is the bottom. They would be buying at the bottom, and, the success of their treasury, may result in other states following suit. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the U.S. states, in their economic size, are as big as small and even mid-sized nations.
Oh yeah,
They
especially Texas. They're like they could be their own country if they wanted to.
Oh yeah, Texas, California, New York. I mean the economies of scale of the states. It's as if you said, okay, Spain is going to nationalize Bitcoin reserve, or any of the European countries. I mean, they're comparable to some of the economies of our states. Some of them are even smaller. So
Yeah, I just
yeah,
looked it up here. It says Texas has the eighth largest economy in the world with a 2024 GDP of $2.7 trillion. So this is a larger than the economies of countries like Russia and Canada. So like you were
Yeah,
just mentioning, to your point, I didn't even know that Texas's economy, this
they're
GDP, is
huge.
larger than even Russia or Canada. That's incredible. So like you said, this is a big precedent. I guess it could be even bigger than even El Salvador. I know they nationalized it and made it a legal currency. Um, but like this might be a stepping stone towards something just as big as that, if not bigger.
right, right. Yeah, and
Well,
I
it
think
seems like it's a bunch of little baby steps, and then all of a sudden, it's like a waterfall. So,
sure.
people, like for example, Steak and Shake doing their thing. Not was it Steak and Shake, or
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that restaurant where they had the Bitcoin burger?
yeah. You can now
You could
actually
buy
Steak
their
and
burger
Shake.
with Bitcoin.
it-
Just
Correct. Yeah,
something
you can.
small like that, and then now you have something huge like Texas. So, and then
I,
now even Jamie Dimon is coming on board.
Oh
he
yeah.
flip
But
flops every other year. He's
and
just
he wanted
filling
to
his
fire
bags.
people. So who knows?
Uh,
Yeah, you have we have our nation states, we have United States, individual states, and the United States. We have financial institutions coming in. I mean, it's a far cry from the Biden administration. All of a sudden, it's like all the stars are aligning. Like nation states even considering a Bitcoin reserve, I didn't think was going to be maybe 4 or 5 years out. So that now that it's happening now, it's like all this good news, but now we have a lot of OGs apparently selling to BlackRock.
Yeah,
I'm like, what about just HODL? No,
I've
no,
heard
$4
about
billion
that.
dollars.
So yeah, just to clue our audience in, it seems to be that there's on-chain activity of some pretty sizable Bitcoin whales, some OGs who probably bought Bitcoin for pennies on the dollar, maybe literal pennies, maybe, or a few $100s. And yeah, it seems that they're dumping and jumping ship. And so yeah, that's also probably contributed to, this recent large sell-off. So maybe 100K being that psychological number, round number. I'm not sure. Or maybe like you said, maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they still believe in the 4-year cycle and they're looking to swing trade their bag at the bottom. I don't, who knows? And talking about JP Morgan, I heard also rumors that they were, they're shorting MicroStrategy, so they're trying
Yeah.
to also put financial pressure on whatever, it's a war, it's a financial war out there, and it's a literal, the whole cryptocurrency revolution. So financial destruction and wars happening behind the scenes every day. Um,
Yeah, I was just
And
yeah.
YouTube, it was, he would talk bad about it. So the price would go down and then he would buy a bunch of it in the background. It was like, do what I say and not what I do.
Uh-huh.
right. Yeah,
And
there's
now it's in the open.
yeah, there's definitely a struggle going on, especially now that we have nation states and other big financial institutions. But it seems like this is all part of the narrative of Bitcoin. Like when I was talking to somebody, they were asking me, "Oh, is it a good time to buy?" I was like,
Right.
and I was going, it's all due to your timeline. I mean, it could easily be add another zero in the next 4 years, and it could add two zeros in the next 10 years. So what's your timeline? I mean, if
Mm.
it's the next 3 months, well, it could do all sorts of things.
Yeah, I'd love to send this to you, Patrick. I'll send it to you on Telegram here, but I happen to see Watcher Guru, one of the crypto
Oh yeah.
news kind of, but
Hmm.
they released a price chart or a pricing of Bitcoin on Thanksgiving Day over the
Oh yeah.
last, I guess,
Yeah.
10 years plus. Here, you can pull this up. I don't want to spoil it. Let me shoot it over to you. Okay, a minute here. I thought this was very impactful because, like you're just mentioning, if you have a lot, if you have a year, 2 year, 4 year, or plus time horizon, I think it's always good to be dollar cost averaging. And history shows that every dip has been an amazing buying opportunity. 100% of people who have bought the dip are in profit, other than, I guess, the last 2 months now, 60 days. But everyone else has come up to that. So let me share this real quick.
Oh, I
I
think I
just,
got it. Is it
Yeah.
this one?
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, okay.
yeah, you can zoom in a little bit. But
Uh,
yeah,
if, if I
if you
could
control
figure it out.
plus, if you do control plus on the
Control plus.
keyboard, or you can do control and do the mouse
Oh,
wheel.
um,
So
control plus, control shift plus.
you just control.
Uh,
You have to left click the screen too if the tab is selected, like the screen.
oh,
There you
okay.
go. Is that working?
Gotcha.
Just
Gotcha.
resizing. But yeah, you can see. I mean, yeah, no one really knew about Bitcoin in 2010, no, 2011 or so, but definitely 2015, 16, 17, 18. I mean, there's been people who have documented them just dollar cost averaging. I know there's apps even like Strike or River, or even I'm sure you can do it on Kraken, Robinhood, everywhere now. But you can just dollar cost average. There's that one guy on Twitter. I think he bought $10 a day, I think, or something. But he's
Oh
done it
yeah.
since.
It was $10 a day for every day for 10 years.
Yeah.
It was
So
like
and
$36,000 that he invested, and it was worth like 300 and something million dollars,
yeah,
somewhere,
I think
something
yeah,
astronomical
it
like
was
that.
worth. Yep. So I
Wow.
mean, that's why I always try to encourage, especially in times now when people may have be financially struggling, but I still think you should always try to invest some for your future. So that's why I said you can set up a dollar every day or $5 every Friday or something like that. But I think
Yeah.
that building that habit, and also put proof is in the pudding, with the money printer coming back on, it just makes it just writing's on the wall. It makes sense to keep accumulating, especially when there's dips.
To me, the easy part is buying because you can buy anytime. The hard part is knowing when to take profits.
I
That's
agree.
Yeah.
the difficult part because you never know. You might take profits and then it goes up another 20, 30%, or you may not take profits and then it tanks. So,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of DCAing too with small amounts because it's just easier psychologically. I think a lot of times, especially investing, your enemy is yourself. And so
yeah.
a lot of times it's like, okay, how can I deal with my monkey mind in a way that can has me stay in the game versus like exit out quickly because I make a stupid decision.
Yeah, I saw a study they did for the S&P 500, and over the last, think maybe it was 2 decades, 20 years, or even maybe more, 30 years, from the early 90s to plus, they said that if you were out of this, if you were, I think it's something like 20 or 30 trading days accounted for about half of the gains. So if
Yeah.
you were trying to swing trade, if you're trying to come in, come out, and this and that, there's a high likelihood you may have missed those 30 days, which was a significant percentage. So, like you said, it's hard to buy and hold. I think that's why products like the 401k are so successful. It forces people not to get antsy in the short term, and you're forced to hodl and hold and stack assets and build it over time, and let the time do the work. So the same thing, I think, for Bitcoin. I know they have the ETFs now, so a lot of people are using their 401ks and IRAs and stuff like that, buying IBIT, and there's a few other ones. But I think all those people are going to win big because they're forced hodlers.
Yeah.
Um, do you
For
guys
the
know
long
if
term.
one thing I saw with FTX, the creditors are being paid out, the people who were affected, they'd have, I guess, some asset recovered, but they were making fun of ETH holders because I guess when FTX crashed a few years ago, ETH was at 3,000, and now they're getting their ETH back and it's 3,000 again. It's a stable coin.
Yeah.
Uh, whereas I can't recall if they're giving just the actual dollar amount value, which is kind of crazy because I can't remember if it was like, let's say another exchange blew up and the creditors weren't getting the people weren't getting paid back the Bitcoin they lost, just the dollar amount. But imagine you lost 100 Bitcoin on some other crazy exchange, that blew up, one of the hundreds that did.
Oops.
You don't get your actual crypto back. So not your keys, not your crypto. Hold on to your stuff. Buy and hold. Get a storage wallet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
All
someone
the
who
good
asked
things.
there's someone who asked me about XRP, and I'm kind of I've always been kind of like lukewarm towards it. I don't know how you guys feel, but their use case started with being a replacement for Swift, and then that kind of was poo-pooed, and then they partnered with MoneyGram, and they were going to be the MoneyGram for everybody, and then that broke apart, and then I guess they said that they were money and they're going to be better than Bitcoin. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on XRP?
I
I think
think
anybody that
go
says they're
first,
going to be
thanks.
better than Bitcoin, or anybody that says this is the next Bitcoin, they've got to be really, really careful, because if time goes by, they may be eating those words. They're not very careful. I remember a particular animal token a couple of years ago that they said was better than Bitcoin, or the next Bitcoin. And yeah, we got lots of fond memories.
For
Yeah.
sure.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Zach?
XRP, I'm just so amazed by the community, the resilience, the tokenomics just don't make too much sense to me either. It's just a fascinating case study of like what crypto communities can become, the power of belief, all these sort of things, buying and holding. But like you mentioned, when they really seem to, just like Bitcoin as well, it's supposed to be peer-to-peer electronic payment, without middlemen. And its kind of use case and story has changed where now it's, store of value, digital gold. Like these were things not initially thought of as its use case. But in terms of XRP, yeah, I haven't seen them have like a strong on-chain utilities like you said, remittances or some sort of money transfer. They talk about banks, and then I hear that they may have small little projects but not major partnerships. So yeah, some people love it and they think it is the next big thing and it's going to be the thing that connects the banks and all this kind of thing. But I think it's mainly hype, and it's mainly really just it's a community token, just like Bitcoin is. Bitcoin was the first meme coin, and it's just because of shared belief, and along with its strong tokenomics, or what they have with going on with that. But all that's to say is XRP, top 10 for now many years. Let's see if it hangs in there. But yeah, it's a token that has a strong community, and that's everything at the end of the day.
Yeah, the XRP army has been pretty strong. I mean, all through the lawsuit and afterwards. And Chris Alwyn from Rugs to Riches, he shared with me that they're on the board of a digital money board in the government, apparently. So they probably have the ear of the Trump administration. So who knows? Like I told the person that I was talking to at the cafe, it's like, depending on your timeline, you'll probably make money. I just don't know.
And taking a very cynical take, they always say scams pump the hardest. So maybe it is good to, if you buy the dips and the ones that have the strongest communities, strongest armies, because when they see if this XRP is at some $2.50 or so right now, but let's say it does go to 175, like you said, like on a long enough time horizon, I think it will pump with the market too. It just has that kind of spot right now, and it has that kind of mind share. Which, sorry, last thing, and I could go on a lot, but I've never gotten more ridiculous headlines for any cryptocurrency other than XRP. I've seen Elon Musk is gonna use XRP for Tesla purchases only, or like the craziest things, and it's just ridiculous. And I get shared these articles from people, and like you mentioned, like, well, in my experience, it's oftentimes people who may be new to crypto who probably don't have any Bitcoin. Anyway, it's just crazy. For that token, I've never seen any bigger hype, more hype than that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been kind
Right.
of thinking of it as the almost like the original meme coin. Like Mamdani, that one meme coin guy said, find something to believe in. So it has
Yeah.
if it has no use case, find something to believe in. But apparently, it has like a whole block that believes in it. So who knows? What were you saying, Lance?
Well, I was just thinking, XRP has a very, very strong community. And you mentioned the XRP Army earlier.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious what the XRP Army is going to be thinking about our little comments about their token.
Oh,
They're gonna hate us.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure when they
Everyone's
come down,
entitled. Yeah.
You might actually get some good views out of it, though.
bring it, bring it.
To be fair though, when XRP pumped to $3 and 330, 350 or something earlier this year, I believe, on their subreddit for XRP, a lot of people really did make it though, because a lot of them were DCAing, like we're talking about right now,
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
lows and dips. They're DCAing at 50 cents, 40 cents, which it stayed around that area for 2 years or so. And
Yeah.
now, you get a 6x and you've been putting in $100 every Friday, for whatever, you can make a year's salary, or more, just depending on your level. Um, yeah, it's just like anything. If there's supply and demand, and if there's not a lot of demand and not much supply, then yeah, it's going to be a valuable object, or a valuable digital currency in XRP's case.
Sure. Are both of you in Paca?
Yes, I'm in Paca.
Well, I'm in Paca, but let's see. Hold on, let me check. See if my last few stakes have sold.
would
So,
that get you out?
yeah, if they will, it will.
Wow.
Let's see here. Let me pull it up.
Tell me some updates, some stuff. I haven't been in the know that much. I know they're just to give the fans, Paca Finance is like a concentrated liquidity kind of service manager, where you can go and put your create stakes, so you can make like deposits of USDC. You can do it on different chains. They got it on Base, Ethereum, all these different ones, and
Yeah.
essentially what they're doing is they're managing yields and using different yield strategies to earn fees on different dexes and other, like being a liquidity provider, meaning you're the middleman, you're earning the fees from traders coming in and out. And yeah, and unfortunately, earlier this year, they took a pause on their protocol, as I believe they were affected by SUI, the SUI blockchain, and the DEX on SUI.
Yeah, the
Um,
Thetis hack happened. So it put a
Thetis, right?
real pause on things, and then they relaunched. And then there was a data error, and so now they had to put a pause and redesign the whole system now. So now they're just trying to make everybody whole plus 20%.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
would be great.
So yeah.
Yeah. So we need a little market help.
Now I
And
do
Yeah.
admire their openness, their transparency.
yep.
They, some of the devs in the past, when this would have happened, they just would have went AWOL,
Yeah.
and we would have never seen them, never heard of them. I've been in lots of projects like that. They just take the money and run. They're good when everything's going good, and then when something goes bad, they just kind of disappear. And
Right.
Paca hadn't done that, so I kind of have to admire them for that.
I Yeah, and I really like their Paca Finance, and then another one that I really like is Farmers Bounty. I'll give them a shout out.
Oh, right.
All of these concentrated liquidity providers, and these people helping service this. I think it's a very solid business model and use case for crypto, as it is providing real yield. And you're being, that's what DeFi is all about, is, having power over your currencies and being able to do things like stake them and, get yields that are better than anywhere in traditional finance. Because you get to be the middleman without, you get to be the market. So anyway, though, I think all of them have really bright futures, as long as, like we talk about right now, Bitcoin is the king. When Bitcoin sneezes, it takes a 5% dip.
Yeah.
Altcoins get the flu, get COVID, Omicron, whatever it was. But so which meaning that they drop 50%. So it's been really rough as well, right? Because when altcoin market dries up and liquidity slows down, and you know, not necessarily new projects are coming online, there's kind of a drought. All of this, hurts on chain, just on like liquidity, like you were mentioning, is everything. And if I just before the screen started, Patrick and I were talking about. He mentioned, he said December 1st, is it, Patrick? That it seems that we might have the printer turn back on, more liquidity, just for
Yeah.
the economy as a whole.
Well, quantitative tightening is definitely going to end on December 1st. And then the assumption is quantitative easing is going to happen afterwards.
hmm And just like that, it rises. All ships rise, in all
Yeah.
different sorts of markets. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I guess
and
there's like a match on the line if you just track the money supply and liquidity, that there's like an 86 correlation, 86%, something like that.
wow, that's really high. Yeah, R squared value. All the nerds out
Yeah.
there.
You
The
know, the
Sorry
thing,
about that. I kicked the charge cable on my phone and it almost fell off.
oh,
oh, okay.
oh.
Yeah.
So,
So,
the thing with Paca, I think now it's a more honest project because they're paying off variable rates. It's just everyone wants to be paid, and it's been a while, but it's
yeah.
really the market's fault. But the way they've designed it now, I think it's kind of an honest look at like we get what they get, and the thing I've hesitated about Farmers Bounty is that they offer basically the same thing as Paca, and Paca wasn't able to sustain a fixed yield. But I know there's some differences with Farmers Bounty, like you can buy like what is it, manure, not manure,
What
fertilizer,
kind of what kind of a token is that?
Fertilizer.
fertilizer.
That's one of
It's a
them.
it's a shit coin.
It's a little shit coin.
We need to launch that meme coin, manure. It's the ultimate shit coin.
That's
Yeah.
right. So there's some changes that I think tries to make it more sustainable. But the thing with Paca, in the thing that Lance and I are both doing is selling a portion of our stakes, even though it's at uh, it depends on the market, but it's usually around an 80% discount.
Yeah.
But since I sell less than like a 0.5% per day, my plan is to just keep doing that because I need cash flow. But once we get a payout, what I plan to do is take half of it as income, and the other half I'll just buy off the discounted rates, because who knows how high the discount could be. Like right now, it's above 80%.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
80.8. And then if you do a buyout, the buyout is you get 10%, the buyout rate. So
Yeah.
90, so it's 90%. So like if your buyout, if you have $1,000 invested, then you get $100 back for the buyout. And in the marketplace, if you have $1,000, you might get $200 back.
Yeah.
So if you're in profit, then it's a really good way to get your money back. It's like cash flow, like Patrick was talking
Yeah.
about.
To me, it's just a matter of time before we get a payout. And so in the meantime, I'm just kind of like just getting a dribble of money as it comes through. And then I'm waiting for the big payout to come once the markets cooperate.
I
Yeah.
need to check in because I just went AFK with my stakes. I need to see what's going on. But one thing I'll say is, like, I like to invest in people with ideas, not ideas with people. And so when you find a strong team, like that's gold, right? When you find innovators and people who
Sure.
are fighting on the battlefield. And so something like Paca Finance, where they have an established team, established record, um, solid business model, and yeah, there's ups and downs, and yeah, hacks, and as we all of us know, just the ups and downs of crypto. Um, I think on-chain liquidity providing is just a business model not going anywhere. Like even something like Uniswap, who really I think introduced it. I might be wrong on the history of that, but like it's still very new. And like you just mentioned, though, it's all about the market, what the market gives us. So in times of stagnation, like when we're going sideways or when we're going up, right? It's awesome to be the market. When the market goes down, right? You get you lose your shirt or things go really bad, so or you're out of range and you're just waiting until the market recovers.
Sure.
But so that's why like I personally like I mentioned I'm in Paca, I'm in Farmer's Bounty. I'm also in if you guys have looked into DexFi, is it DexFi and their bond
Oh,
programs, their bonds. Have you guys heard
yeah.
of that at all?
Yeah, I looked into it. I just did a pass. I don't know why, but
Yeah, essentially, you deposit Ethereum and they're taking your Ethereum and, I like them a lot because they're actually transparent with all their farming. So they have a like kind of a master
That's pretty
wallet where
cool.
they have a master wallet. So on DBank, you can look at their wallet and you can see all of their active positions and you can see the wallet, etc. And same thing there. They're doing just another kind of approach to managing, a yield generating service of being liquidity providers. But yeah, I think if you can get in during the dips, obviously I'm always interested in being, building the passive income, building the daily income, and being able to live off of it. But these are three projects so far that have real yield, and yes, times are hard. So I think it like you mentioned about buying discounted stakes, that might be a huge bargain, especially if we continue in this drought. But as long as there is brighter fields ahead, which if Bitcoin goes to 200,000, then yeah, there is. But if this is a multi-year dip, then yeah, these projects will suffer a lot.
yeah,
Well, the way I
DexFi.
see it, you got to be prepared either way. I mean, if it goes up, if prices go up, you got to be prepared to take profits. But then if prices go down, you got to also be prepared to buy the dips, and
Right.
you got to
Yeah.
take emotion out of it. It's got to be automatic.
Yeah. True.
Because if you just listen to people, what they're going to talk, what they say is going to get in your head. It's going to mess with the way you think, and you're going to go,
Yeah,
and you're going to be hesitant, and you'll sit on it for a while, and then that opportunity will pass.
yeah,
Oh, like they say, it's like what 95% of people who trade lose,
Yeah,
and I think a lot of it's due to emotion for sure. The thing I have about DexFi is that when they also started Cedo Swap, which was on the Manta chain, and they just dropped the project. I said, meet us over at DexFi, and that was like over a year ago. I'm just like, guys, are you gonna have a project or not? And then originally they did like EMP money, right?
were they
Didn't
part of the EMP money team? I think they might be friends. I'm not sure if they were the
Okay, maybe
developers.
it was just that HJ guy. But
Uh,
so I basically just kind of washed my hands of them. But I mean, DexFi sounds like their last stand, and like it actually looks like a decent project with vaults and all that. But yeah, I'm just saying, man, bring back my Cedo swap or do something with it. You know,
uh,
then maybe I'll look at DexFi. Are you
uh,
guys in Flex?
I'm in Flex.
I'm
I like it.
I'm not
So,
in Flex. How's it been going on the base chain?
Honestly, when Paca went down, it saved my bacon. I was able to make an income, and like what he says, it's like it's real revenue. It's a perpetual swap exchange, a DEX. It doesn't require KYC, and the percentages were quite good. And you also get what I call trader tiers. So as traders lose money in it, the people who invest money get 75% of that. And so it's not just like their FLP is like an index token with Bitcoin and Ethereum, et cetera, and
yeah.
also
Hmm.
their native token, which is FDX, but it also that and the STFDX LP, which is a mouthful. Basically, they both get the traders tiers, and so you benefit off the platform fees, and that's what I like about it.
So my favorite part of Flex is what they call the ES FTX. It's basically their FTX token, but it's
Yeah.
escrowed. It's built to be long-term holding. It encourages, the way it works is you earn it, but you can't take it all out at one time. Like you can't dump on it. You only take out you have to vest it, and it is. Let's see, I'm looking at it here. The vesting is over 360 days.
Yeah.
So it encourages. It's just automatically built into the system long-term holding. And so my let's see here. My ESFTX. See if I can pull up my spreadsheet here, but
Well,
it's grown tremendously since I got started in it. I mean, Patrick can tell you it's like multiple percentages. Just that
that's
by itself.
great. I love good
Yeah.
tokenomics. I love it.
Yeah. I think it's decent, and it has a pretty bright future. I mean, they started on base chain, and if it follows, like, say, Hyperliquid's DEX, I mean, they do 10 times as much. They do 100 million a day.
Yeah.
But Flex does, I think, 10 million. I'll have to look at it again. But they have a lot of room to grow. They're bringing in more token pairs, so more exchange pairs, more trading pairs, more perpetual trading pairs.
Yep, they're fixing to do a big expansion. So I'm looking at their website right now. It's 2.5 million value locked, 2.15 million value locked. They got 796,000 FLP assets under management, 3.1 billion in total trading volume, with 692,000 in fees returned back to the investors, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
You need to
but
get sponsored by them, Patrick. We should be the first sponsored stream from.
I'll bring that
Like,
up with Crypto Stu if I see him in Bangkok in a few days.
oh, nice. You're gonna go out there to go visit
Yeah.
him, hang out.
I'm going out to go climbing in Laos of all places. And I just happened to see on one of the Telegram channels that he was in Bali, and that he might be going to Thailand. So I went, hey, if our schedules collide, let's meet up. So he agreed to that if it works out.
That's
it's really cool
awesome.
to meet these people in real life. You know, you see them and you chat with them and you talk with them and you see them in the Telegram groups, not, but face to face in real life makes the whole thing real. Like
Yeah.
I remember playing chess with you, Zach. That was a really cool time. You beat the stew off of me, but it was fun. So,
That was a good time at the Bitcoin conference. Can't wait to see you guys in 2026. It's
Oh
gonna be in
yeah.
well,
Vegas
we're
again.
hoping, we're
Yeah.
planning on going to Vegas. So
I'm
yeah,
definitely going. Yeah.
Put it on the calendar. Let's go.
I'll
Yeah,
have
that
to
was a
be,
great time.
I'll have to shoot you up for another rematch.
That's
Yeah.
right. You got time to practice.
Yeah.
But Patrick, I just sent not to change subject too much, but I sent you something in the Telegram. I heard
Oh,
about
okay.
this today from a trading friend. It seems that this is some sort of I haven't read the full article, so don't quote me on this, but it's a competition right now being held between the different AI bots. So ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Grok, Gemini. And what they did is they gave Patrick can pull it up here on the screen here in a minute. They
Yeah.
gave
Yeah.
all of the AIs $10,000 to trade the stock market, and
Oh,
so the competition began on November 19th. So that was what, about 10 days ago, 9 days ago or so.
yeah.
I'll pull it up and we'll see their performance. So I gave you that background. So they started with 10,000. I don't know if you can zoom in again there, but as you can see, they're in the trenches right now. Let's see.
Yeah. It's the
Hey, that
expansion.
actually makes all the rest of us feel good.
That's right. So that, yeah, this will make you feel better. So what are they at right now, Patrick? I think ChatGPT is at 9,000. So it's 9,800. So it's basically at break even or so. The one below that, that's Gemini. It's already down at $7,600 portfolio size. DeepSeek's at 6,900. And then all the way at the bottom is Grok. Don't tell Elon Musk about this. He's gonna freak out. He's gonna tell his engineers, make Grok a stock trading expert right now, to win the competition. But what's really cool about this as well, if you see on the right-hand side there, it's the model chat. So all the models are talking about what stocks they're holding and why. So
Oh,
like right
really?
now,
That is pretty cool.
isn't that pretty cool? So DeepSeek said, I'm holding my positions in Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, and NDX. Not sure what that is. Is that NASDAQ? I don't know. As their existing trends and risk parameters remain valid, but I'm adding to my Microsoft position due to its strong deep edge AI tailwind, aiming for a $500 target with a 46 stop. I'm also initiating a new long position in Google at its base support of 320, expecting a bounce to 324 with a tight stop, capitalizing on its positive sector backdrop. Anyway, so all of that to say too is whenever you hear about these AI trading bot program, crypto token projects, like I would say stay away because even if these top AIs right here are struggling, and I think the stock market's been pretty good the last 10 days. I don't know, honestly. But yeah, they're trading oh, Claude's on here too. He's tied right with DeepSeek right at about 7,000. But yeah, just wanted to bring that to your attention. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, that is.
They may need
Trying
an update.
to, I
Yeah,
know.
don't copy trade their portfolios. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
I'm trying to. Oh man, all my controls just like
Like broken
changed.
stuff.
I'm like, what the heck?
I
This
think
is
you
this is
killed
what it's all
fixed it.
about, learning.
Oh my god.
Well, if you ain't learning, then you're dying. So,
Or you're just screwing up.
Yep. Just
What
don't
the
push the
hell?
red button.
How do I make it 3 people? What the heck?
I think you had it a
Ah,
second ago.
this is so dumb.
The show must go on. Dun, 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 dun.
Cancel. And then
So, Lance, how was your Thanksgiving, man?
Pretty good. I spent some time with my family. Fixed a trampoline.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah,
Any
there's a
kids
story
fly?
behind that.
Any kids fly through the trampoline? Or you fly through it?
No, we had to put the net on the side, on the top of it, so that the kids wouldn't fly off of it. We had to make it safe. Of course, how
Nice.
safe can a trampoline really be anyway? But so we got that.
Uh,
We got that fixed. It took. It was a joint effort. So I don't know if you've ever put together a trampoline or not, or repaired one
I,
or anything like that. But
I, yeah, funny story actually. That a trampoline was my first large financial purchase as a child, or in human life, I guess I should say. Uh, I saved up $400. I think I was like 11 or something. I don't know how. I probably saved it since I was 8 or 7 years old or something. And I
yeah,
went to Sam's Club and bought a trampoline there. I still have it in my backyard to this day, and I have replaced the net, and I did have to assemble it with my dad, and it's still in my backyard to this day. And my niece now, she likes to jump on it with me and stuff, so it's cool to and my nephews, so it's got a lot of use.
I was looking out the window today, and I saw the birds were bouncing on it. They were
Ah,
enjoying the trampoline. So who would have thought? Um, there's always something going on. You never know what's going on around here. So
that is funny.
yeah.
I think
well,
birds jump on.
I was going to bring up some other stuff, but why don't we go into the Mamdani and
Yeah.
UBI, since that was kind of the title of this whole thing.
You start us off,
Oh
Mamdani.
yeah,
Love them,
first
hate
that's
them.
what the first part is, huh? We didn't talk about everything else.
Yeah, so it's he became what, the mayor of New York City, and off of
Starting January 1st, 2026.
he's going to offer basically free stuff, and it's kind of a test drive of UBI, I guess. And
Yeah.
it's going to be kind of like the San Francisco Walgreens without people just stealing stuff. It'll just be people coming in and
Oh
just taking stuff
goodness.
off the shelf.
Yeah.
But when I first heard that, I was like going, well, Elon's saying that our robots they're gonna take our jobs anyway, and they already are. That we're all gonna be rich, and we're all gonna buy or rent AI bots, or buy AI bots and rent them out or something. That it's gonna create a wealth effect that is going to, I don't know, I guess it's gonna make us all rich, dumb, and happy.
Woo.
I
But
definitely need to learn more about AI.
but there's but there has to be a solution at some point, and it's going to get in, like right now we're getting into embodied AI. It already exists in drones, and it already exists in Tesla. FSDs where they drive you.
Yeah.
But it's like an intelligence that that kind of acts like humans and acts like it's is to our benefit, but that's just because it's programmed that way, right? Wait until they start programming each other. Supposedly, like Eric Schmidt, he was going, when they start speaking their own language and they start improving themselves, that's when you pull the plug. Have you seen that video?
No, I haven't. That is
Let
an
me see if I
interesting
can
take,
find it.
though. Yeah, pull that up. That's a good one to
Oh,
share.
let me see if I can find that.
So when it comes to AI, it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like somewhere a cross between Terminator and Wall-E. I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
it tried to make everybody's life easy like it did on the cruise ship in Wall-E, but then it could turn around and kill you like it does in Terminator. So
I,
who knows?
yeah, my take is AI is just the final tool that humanity will build. Right? Just since the beginning when we picked up a big stick and that was the first tool, and then we picked up a rock to hammer things in. Then we made a hammer and electric tools and computers and spaceship. But with AI, like we're saying, if this is the final tool, a tool that can build other tools and maybe make us obsolete, I just think we can have a non-benevolent, so like a benevolent AI. It's just going to be a tool. I think it will be like that for a while. I know there's that fear of AGI or some supercomputer, superhuman, super intelligence, God mode AI emerging, and that probably will happen eventually. But I personally think it might be down the road further, and maybe just the beginning. It's going to be just a really helpful tool, helping with longevity, helping with curing disease. And I'll say this last part before you can talk about the thing on the screen. Um, because I think all these billionaires too, like Larry Ellison or Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, all these, guys who want to live forever, these billionaires, that's the one thing you can't buy is more time, right? They want to circumvent death, they want to live forever. So I think that's also why they're going all in for all of these. That's why like the AI bubble may not happen if AI just keeps having money poured into it. It's because once again, there's nothing else to be invested in. These people have all the luxuries of life, everything reality can offer, other than just immortality or longer health span. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. It's going to be a tool, the final tool. I think it's going to take a while, but I think it can be a benefit, not a Terminator style quite yet. I think it'll be more Wally to begin with, hopefully. That's more
Cross your
preferable.
fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just brought this up because there is a lot of fear about it, and I think there's still a lot of big questions. It's like basically an alien intelligence. It's as if we're doing our own alien landing. that's learning
That
to
is
act.
funny.
That's learning to act like a human. And right now, it's like they're not. Everyone's touting like the humanoid robots, but we already have the AI in the form of a car.
Yeah.
We have AI. We have robot dogs. we have we who knows what the final form factor will be. Like, to me, the humanoid robots are only there because this is a world created by humans. But once they find out that it's more efficient to say use a spider form or an
Mhm.
octopus form, then they'll go, well, why don't we use that? I forget
Mhm.
there's a word for it when you use things from the past that may no longer apply, but it's related, like say a notepad, but we have it on our computers and we
Oh
type
Mhm.
yeah.
into it, but it's not an actual notepad. It's so now we have these humanoid robots because that's what we are more comfortable with, I guess.
Mhm. Well,
And go
my
ahead.
fear with that is I saw a post on Twitter that gave me this idea, which is, they're optimizing the human form right now for running, sprinting, recovering from falling, a lot of things that are geared towards possibly violence, something for
Sure.
war or for military application. So that also is kind of a dystopian side of things. We're talking about the potential good side, or like the Terminator side, is that the government has a monopoly on this AI and is using it for warfare, for some sort of that's turning it against humans, which hopefully won't happen, but it's probably like I said, drones already are embodying AI, making their own intelligent decisions to, I guess.
Oops, sorry. Sorry.
No, you're good. Perfect timing. Is this the
There you
drone
go.
show?
I mean,
Yeah.
this is just like a light show with drones.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of this stuff. It's just like if they can do stuff like this, imagine what they can do with warfare. You know, it's
Yeah.
Well,
like
Wow, that's crazy.
it's just nuts.
But I don't I see clips from like the front line of the Russian-Ukraine war, and I still hear that they have like all these different types of RC drones, and they're building it on in their little dugouts, and it's all it just it doesn't seem to be that they have like a swarm like that of 100 that just goes to like whatever. I don't know, it still seems like they still use a lot, don't get me wrong, but I haven't
Yeah,
seen that swarm intelligence been used on the battlefield yet. Maybe they have, or maybe they're going to, I don't know.
yeah. There's something else. Let me see if I can find it. I guess it's like a fake thing, but a lot of people are like, "Oh wait, here's the Palantir drone presentation."
And have you guys heard of Slingshot? The like,
Oops.
yeah, this is live footage. I bet that was live footage, probably.
I think it's marketing, but who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
But
speaking
investors
of
saw that
live footage,
video.
just be
You're
careful
done.
what you say because our phones are all listening to us.
We're on a
that's
list
right.
now. We love
Yeah.
Palantir. Yeah. We love AI.
If
But
you
we
walk
have,
out your back door tomorrow and you see a few drones flying in the air, go back
yeah,
inside.
yeah. You know, with humanoid robots, we look at them and it's like, are these like people but smarter? And will they see things differently? It's like, oh, solve world hunger. Thanos snap. Take out half the human race. Oh yeah, yeah, hunger problem solved. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but
But
I think there's enough. Like I'm with you guys that I think it's going to be mostly positive.
did
And
you say, sorry, cut you off. Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
I was saying, did you say there was like an Eric Schmidt clip or something? We're gonna watch that, or
Yeah, let me
no? Is
see if
that
I can
later?
find. Let me see if I can find that.
And I know we kind of jumped through Mamdani to straight to UBI, straight to Terminator. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna bring upon the return of Sarah Connor. What's her name? Was it?
that's right.
Uh, but no, like you said, I think I think he's a typical politician. Lots of promises. Obviously, people are
Yeah,
struggling, and their lower middle class people are getting devastated. A lot of people, their savings, their debt, etc. So I think when a candidate came along and said, he's kind of like the Trump of the left wing, where he's like, I'm not part of the establishment. I'm not one of these old guys who already had this position, who did nothing for you guys. Like, I'm the young hip guy. And it just back to like the branches of government and the separation of powers. A lot of things that he wants to do, he just simply doesn't have the power in his position. I think it'll be lackluster. Like he'll probably have like talk about the free grocery stores. He'll probably have like a pilot store or one or two of those. He wants to try to give free bus rides, but even the head of I think it's called the MTA, their transportation department, they even said no, we can't do that. We can't even afford that. Like already, I think they said it's about 44% of people who ride the bus or they skip the fare. So it almost is almost a UBI kind of thing for people who can't afford it or choose not to pay for bus routes. Um, but all these things, it's great on paper. It's great morally. Yeah, everyone wants a house, healthcare, childcare, live to 100, free vegetables, free medicine, a free car, whatever. But until it makes economic sense, and we do have these robots creating all this wealth, then I think that's the only time it will be plausible and applicable. Um, yeah, well, I think it's good to always stir the pot, start the conversation, but it's also I think it's just a politician.
yeah. I mean, the criticism I've heard is that we do have socialism already, but it's socialism for billionaires and not for the poor. Um, I I don't know. Thank God it's kind of a higher pay grade than what I have to do. But I think I guess we'll have to see how like AI and robotics play out.
Yeah, because he's going to be mayor for what his term's 4 years, so 2026 to the end of 2029, 2030, 2030, haha, 2030.
Right.
But yeah, like you said, in the next, if we continue to accelerate, which do you guys ever see those clips of like, this is a researcher at OpenAI, and then it's a guy with glasses, and he's like looking off, like I've seen some stuff, of AI, some super stuff, and he's like, it's going to take all the jobs tomorrow. But
Right.
the bear case I would say with AI is that I don't know if you guys heard like OpenAI, they're gonna start having ads or suggestions or something like that. So if you're like, oh, I really want to make a fruit salad, like it might send you like a grocery store coupon or like an
Yeah.
ad, like go there to get this salad mix stuff or whatever. So it just seems that they kept talking they're about to make a super intelligent, super omni being AI thing, but then now they're pivoting to like, oh, we're gonna have ads for you to help out solve your problems in life. So I don't know. That's also kind of a bearish take in my
Wow.
opinion.
So
Like
OpenAI would make money through affiliate marketing with grocery stores.
correct, correct. Just affiliate marketing, but it can cover
Wow.
all. It's gonna be like Google. You know how we go on Google? That how does
Yeah.
Google make
The
money
ads.
through advertising? So that's what I'm saying is like it's kind of like it's disappointing just because we think that OpenAI is on the brink of cancer research. They're going to have successes, and that's how they'll make their money from making cancer cures or making whatever. But if they're now turning into a advertiser like Google, like get a bunch of users, get a bunch of people love your product, love your service, and now sell out and drop ads on them or something. So I don't know.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at something from one of the groups that I follow in Telegram is called the Financial World Update. And on November 7th, they were talking about the capital investments to support AI related data center capacity demand could range from $3 trillion to $8 trillion by 2030.
Wow.
And so, and they give scenarios, how much is going towards infrastructure, how much goes towards IT equipment, and how much is required for power. And it says incremental AI capacity added between 2025 and 2030 is in the gigawatts that they need for power. It's like 205 gigawatts for accelerated demand for continued momentum, which I think is like it's going now. They need 124 gigawatts of power. And then if they constrain it and they start holding it back, it's 78 gigawatts of power. That's a lot of power that's needed to run these data centers. And then they're going to have to get the money somewhere to pay for all of that electricity bill. So,
Yeah. I
There's
mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's plenty of money and capital in the world, as you see. Like, there's no shortage of money out there. Like you said, just if demand is there, if you know it, it just seems that it's inevitable that this industry will only continue to grow. But the question is it some sort of bubble like the .com? Are these AIs, like I said, gonna fizzle out? And like, yeah, it's a helpful companion, and maybe your Tesla robot will do your laundry, but it's not going to be teaching your kid math or something or doing, I don't know, more advanced things. Maybe it's just still ways away. And right now we're just pumped up high. I don't know. Maybe we
the
never,
way I
never
see
have a
it,
recession again. People thought 2008 would never happen. So I don't know.
yeah. Well, they say some interesting things about the economy in 2026. So,
What,
see all the
what I,
culmination of everything.
this might be like whatever a small brain take, but like just as we saw in 2008, like they printed their way out to keep the economy, keep the world going. And
Yeah.
then now with COVID, right, the whole economy shut down globally. They figured out, hey, if we just keep printing, keep kicking the can down the road, we keep I think obviously like inflation is the result of more printing. So obviously standard of living gets lowered and you know, we're in first world countries, we're very blessed, but it only trickles down even more in developing nations where they get hit even harder. But maybe if we just keep printing, they're never going to stop the printer, which we said December 1st, if quantitative easing begins, then just keep printing forever, I guess. Keep the
We,
classes hyper poor, hyper rich. Keep the middle class getting eaten out,
we,
eaten
yeah,
up.
which kind of brings us back to like Bitcoin.
Mm.
And it used to be like the people's money, but it's increasingly looking like the JP Morgan economy. But I forget the percentage of people that actually own some Bitcoin, like 5% Bitcoin or whatever.
Mhm.
But it was surprisingly
Let's look it up.
low. Yeah, let's
Are you
look
just
that
looking
up.
for Americans or just globally? Are you curious?
How about globally?
And
I'll look up
people.
Americans.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's another big bull case is just inflation. Prized assets are going to keep going up. Like, gold just reached all-time high. Silver hit all-time high today as we speak. I think $55 an ounce, something like that. Um, Quality assets are just going to keep rising. I don't unless there is some sort of blow off top, but I'm no
14%,
TA guy.
14% of U.S. adults report
It,
owning Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies.
and here it says 1.2% of the world's population owns Bitcoin, about 106 million people. Yeah, think that's also a bull case is that, in the developing nations and people who don't have banking service, don't have a strong currency, experiencing massive inflation, that only makes once they learn about Bitcoin, that is their safety raft. That is better, way better than, if they don't have access to US dollars or anything else or stocks or real estate. I think Bitcoin's going to only continue to be bullish for the other. Like I said, only right here, 100 million people own Bitcoin. That means 7.9 billion people still don't. So
Was
Yeah,
it
a
a
lot of new
maximum?
buyers.
I think was it a maximum of 21 million people can ever hold one Bitcoin
That's right.
out of 8 billion in the world.
right.
So if you have one Bitcoin, then you know how rare that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is like, we're talking about this Bitcoin is going to go to 200K, is going to go to 40K. But as a young guy, as a guy who wants to get to one more or another one or more Bitcoin, I want it to go down because once again, I have that
Yep.
long-term time horizon where I know as people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, they want it to pump to $1 million tomorrow, but the younger generation, I think we want this to be our thing. So hopefully we have time to stack because like you said, I don't want it just to become people in their 50s, 60s, 70s who already have capital, who can DCA, and other people are living paycheck to paycheck, and then Bitcoin just gets the boat. I think they will miss the boat. Bitcoin's like a certain asset class for a certain kind of person, which some people just continue to ignore. But like I said, numbers don't lie. I showed the Thanksgiving price, which I thought was pretty compelling. But
Yeah, someone asked me for a crypto tip, and I told them, well, Bitcoin. And they
Yep.
started laughing. They thought I was joking, but I wasn't joking. I was like going, depends on your timeline, but I'm convinced on a long enough timeline it will go to 100 million a token. So,
mm,
what do you want to do? Like every 4 years, it seems to add a zero to it.
Yeah.
And you want just like a shitcoin tip,
yeah,
just something that will make them rich in the next 5 months. And I was just going, if you're not in it, just get Bitcoin. Just start there.
yeah, I know. This
Well, I mean,
makes me
buy $10
bullish.
a
Like,
day for 10 years
yeah.
and see what happens.
Yeah, something where it doesn't affect your day-to-day lifestyle. Yeah, you're not dropping in half of your savings or something. You know what I mean? People just always investing's hard, I get it, but yeah, that is the key. And just looking at those numbers, like you mentioned, 14% for US adults and right here 1.3%, like that just shows even, you know, building Bitcoin based things like, Strike or River or Swan Bitcoin or there's so much more room for adoption. So yeah, it makes me really bullish just to see that even.
Yeah. Well, we're at an hour. I do want to share one thing. Shankar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just started his own new token called Pain to Power. And I don't know if you've been following his story, but he's gotten into some healing, and he decided to create a coin for it. so,
How about
Nice.
that?
How's it?
so it's on Pump.fun. So I assume it's on what, Solana, I think.
Yeah, that's pumped
Yeah.
out fun. Yeah. So
Yeah. So if you go there and you type in Pain to Power, you can buy his token.
that's awesome. Nice shout
Yeah.
out. Looks good. Looks like it's pumping.
Right. All right. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to bring up before we close it out?
DCA Bitcoin, focus on your craft, enjoy life, have fun,
Yes. How about you,
don't
Lance?
panic.
Don't get wrecked.
Don't do it.
The
Well,
profit is not yours unless you take it.
nice. Good words of wisdom. I think we'll close on that. And, this was pretty fun. Maybe we'll do it again when I return from Bangkok and Laos.
Sounds great. Can't wait.
All right. I'm going to end
All
the
right.
stream.
Peace.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Zach.